Hey everybody, welcome to the Grand Prix Columbus victory celebration video. This is the Modern 75 that I won GP Columbus with last weekend, and how could I not shoot a video with it? So if you're unfamiliar with the deck, the point is to accelerate your mana, Gilded Goose, Mox Opal, do that, and then ram some unbeatable permanent into play. Like we have Oko, Urza, and Karn are the weapons of choice. Emery also can arrive as soon as turn 1 to start drawing extra cards. That taxes their counterspells, taxes their removals, clears the way for one of your 3 and 4 drops. The mid-game plan, if you don't just combo off and Karn them out with Lattice, Cryptic Command bouncing Mystic Sanctuary with Emery and Mishra's Bauble means that you draw Cryptic Command and another card every single turn. So you can just lock a lot of people out that way. That can happen as soon as turn 4. It's pretty quick. And Karn package, we got shut down all decks if the coast is clear, shut down attacking decks, shut down big mana decks and storm decks. Pithing Needle, just general utility card. Tormod's Crypt for your graveyard enemies. And then the other 8 cards in this sideboard, you just sideboard straight into Sultai Control. You can cut some opals, shave on Oko, shave on Emery, Witching Well, Everflowing Chalice. You can cut things like that and just bring in these 8 cards and become a Sultai Control deck. And that's the deck. It's very powerful. Let's go play some matches. Alright, so we're on the draw with a pretty awkward hand. This hand does have turn 2 Emery and lots more Emerys after that. I think we can do better. I'm basically already on 5 because of the double Emery. Alright, this hand's also awkward. If we could cast Goose, it would be great. We play a lot of lands and a lot of artifacts, though. I'm going to try this. I generally like giving the deck a little bit of faith. Playing against a Tron strategy. Alright. My faith was not rewarded this time. Alright, so they're going to have turn 3 Tron. Let's see. We might get to just concede. Oh, bummer. Alright. That draw was just good enough to keep playing the game. Alright, let's see what they got. Cryptic Command is excellent against Tron. It won't matter if their messed up permanent's already in play, though. Karn the Great Creator. Bummer. Usually you want to get your Karn into play first, obviously. So they'll probably get Liquid Metal Coating here. But if I draw a land, I can still slam my Karn. So it's interesting. Let's see what they're going to do with this. All right, so they're making a wish. They got Spyglass. Okay, that's also a pretty good one. Lots of juicy targets for that. I think they have to name Oko or else they're going to lose their Karn. Yep. Alright, so let's draw a land, and I think we can make this happen. That did not help. So we just lose now instead of winning. Okay. Yeah, they get Lattice. We don't have 4 mana, we can't interact. I guess I could attack Karn, but I'll save some time and just pack that one up. So at the Grand Prix, I didn't lose a game to Tron. So this opponent is already better than my last 5. So against Tron, Engineered Explosives is bad. We don't need all 4 Okos. Witching Well and Goose are not what we want. We want to be a little faster than that. Higher velocity. So we bring in these disruptive things. Damping Sphere is obviously great. Assassin's Trophy and Thoughtseize can slow them down. And boom. Leaving all this stuff in the board for Karn. Drown in the Lock. They're not going to reliably have cards in their graveyard. Certainly not like 7 of them. So that card's not great. Alright, this hand is good though. There's a lot of lands. We're going to need some spells, but we're ramping and sphering. Alright, so they stopped at 5. Yeah, so we're going to Goose off Breeding Pool this turn. And then play Goose and Damping Sphere next turn. Hopefully they dismember this Goose. Try to get aggressive on me. Chalice for 0. Okay. That's a little annoying, but Oko and Karn both deal with it. And I'll take some damage there. Re-Goose. And Damping Sphere. Since I can't cast zeros anyway, the Damping Sphere is less harmful than it normally would be. Chalice on 1. Okay. What's up, Oko? Welcome to the party. I'm going to turn on my Goose rather than my food because I want to be able to, if I draw Urza, I want to be able to cast it and have a bunch of artifacts laying around. Oh, they were Eldrazi Tron all along. I had no idea. Okay, so here's Karn. What are we going to do about it? I think I'm just going to boop their Chalice on 0. So here's Karn. So I can't. All right, they're just dead. All right, that's how you do that. Just shove Planeswalkers onto the stack. Okay, knowing there are Eldrazi Tron, that does change my sideboard plan quite a bit. Okay, so I want Oko, Emery. So against Eldrazi Tron, I'm just cutting a bunch of zeros. Ooh, that's not the wrong one. Opal. All right, and then I don't want the Damping Spheres. Right, because Damping Sphere matters a lot less when they're able to go lean like Eldrazi Tron can. Like, I only really want Damping Spheres against Big Tron. I can wish for it with Karn if I need to, but I definitely want to make sure I'm set up and on board early. So I definitely want all my Geese, Emery, and Okos in. Still like Thoughtseize, still like Trophy. Alright, this hand, they kept 7. Bummer. I'm going to keep. I hope they don't Chalice on 0, but if they do, I can play through it. I also need another land at some point. Alright, there's the Chalice on 0. Not a huge deal, but does suck a little. So I'm going to get the basic forest here, because I do have Astrolabes in my hand that I want to be able to get into play if I need to cantrip next turn. So hopefully they just spend this turn mapping. Alright, Reshaper is mostly fine. Come on, land. Land. Alright, that's kind of a land. I'll take it. And Pretty sure I want to Thoughtseize them. Or do I want a second Goose? It's one or the other. The fact they didn't map this turn makes me think I'm getting Thought-Knot-Seered next turn. The question is if I care about that. I think I do. Yep, there it is, the Thought-Knot-Seer, to the surprise of no one. So they can play a Ballista on 2, or whatever they just drew. Probably Thought-Knot-Seer, because that's how this goes. Land? Okay. Alright, we're starting to do it. We'll play this Goose. And I can't cast Urza this turn. I'm just going to hold up Assassin's Trophy, and if they don't do anything I need a trophy, I'll just make another food. And then I can Urza next turn even through a Thought-Knot-Seer because I have 2 of it. There's the power plant. I'll take my medicine. And Ballista for 2. I'll fetch in response. Because I want to make a food this turn. It would be pretty embarrassing if they picked off my Goose in response to the fetch. Create a food. Alright, it's Urza Clock. Alright, so I could trophy their Chalice and get Opal and Everflowing Chalice into play, but I don't think that actually does anything. I think I'm going to wait for them to try to ratchet up their Ballista and pick it off. Map. Alright, so map's fine. Okay, so if I respond to map with trophy on tower, is that better than killing the Ballista outright? Because they'd end up with 1, 2, 3 mana. Alright, so blue, black, sack of food for green, roast this tower. Okay, so they had Dismember. That's fine because I have a backup Urza. Let's see if they keep trying to assemble Tron. No, they switched over to attack land. That makes sense. Clearing out my Geese and Astrolabe would be pretty rough here. I'm definitely going to trade with this Ballista while I can. Alright, come on, land. Re-Urza. Rebuke, rough. Okay, so this Chalice on 0, definitely super punishing. Making a food, then losing all my permanents. Harsh. Land. Emery is not bad. So I can't... Chalice always costs 0. If you're watching this and thinking, why aren't I jamming Chalice? Oh no. Oh. Oh no. That is bad. Yeah, Chalice always costs 0. It has multi-kicker, but the converted mana cost is always 0. It's not like Chalice of the Void, where you can pay X, and like X actually changes on the stack. I can't block here. Alright, pretty sure I'm just very, very dead. Yeah, stumbling on those lands just buried me. And they had this really good Chalice on 0 also. Aha. Bummer. Yeah, Eldrazi Tron is a much tougher matchup than Big Tron because they can actually attack you and pressure you meaningfully. Alright, we're on the play. There's a small percentage awkward thing that happens when in this deck where you have Astrolabe but no snow mana. But that is awkward enough that I can't keep this hand. I guess this is still a turn 2 Emery. I am going to keep this hand. I'm going to play Chalice on 1 on turn 1. Just in case. Like, most decks have 1-drops. And since I need this Chalice in play to be, or explosives in play to be an artifact for Emery anyway. Definitely would have rather played Astrolabe that turn. But here we are. Alright, so they're either Shadow or Urza. Alright, they targeted themselves. Okay, so if they're Shadow, I'm really glad we have this explosives on 1 in play already. Alright, come on, Snowland. Awkward. Alright, I'm also just doing lots of damage to myself right now. Yeah, so the Astrolabe would have been free there if we drew a Snowland, because it reduces Emery by 1 and costs 1 itself. I have no faith that this Emery is going to survive the turn. It is pretty sweet, though, that Emery is like a 1 or 2 drop most of the time, but they still have to get Revolt to Fatal Push. Shit. Alright. We're having kind of a bad time here. Alright, all of my Emerys are accounted for now. There's 3 in the bin, 1 in play. This is a Thought Scour, yep. They scoured a Dismember, that's good. I was worried about them having that card. Yeah, Grixis Shadow is one of the tougher matchups. Like, just what the deck does lines up well against what your deck does. I'll even get to re-Fatal Push me. Alright, if we draw a Snowland, we're still in business. Coast is clear right now. Snowland? Bummer. Alright, so I'm going to bobble them in their upkeep, because I want to know what they drew, but I don't want them to be able to discard it. Even though the best card in my deck is already in my hand, so I don't know what they'd be. What card I could draw off bobble that would be better than Urza to take. It at least protects the information. Oh, Gurmag Angler is their big threat they can play that doesn't get bombed. Joke's on you, buddy. Can't cast those anyway. Okay, so that's Inquisition rewards the upkeep bauble. Thoughtseize doesn't really care about it. Lots of scouring. And they found a Shadow. I'm going to blow this now. They could just have another Shadow in their hand, but that's fine. Like, I want to be able to use my mana next turn, assuming I draw any spells I can cast. Alright, 2 draw steps. Alright, we found a snow mana. And a backup explosives. Alright, I'm going to play it on 1. It would kill our Astrolabe, but at least it protects from future shadows. And Urza's in line for next turn. Alright, they targeted themselves with Bauble. That makes me think they have a fetch land, and we know they have this Watery Grave also. So they have something in their hand that can manipulate the top of their deck, like Thought Scour or Snap Thought Scour, or a fetch land. But they like their top card, so it didn't matter. I don't believe they play any main deck ways to counter Urza. They usually have Stubborn Denials, but not Disdainful Stroke, not till after sideboard. I'm going to play this Bauble. Having this 0-mana artifact here forces them to react to the Urza trigger. Like, if they do have, like, Snapcast or Dismember, they need to respond to this trigger, or else I'm holding up Cryptic. Okay. So I'm going to hold up Cryptic instead of trying to Bauble them. Alright, so do they also have Stubborn Denial as the last card in their hand? Or did they just punt? Oh, they're tapping out for it, so they must not have it. They're trying to figure out how to cast Dismember with their floating mana. Okay, looks like they figured it out. I'm going to counter and draw. One, two. So they should have responded to the trigger there if that was their play. Now I get to keep Urza for no reason. Alright, cycle to Wraith. Alright, so they're attacking. This could mean a couple things. They could be trying to turn on Fatal Push. They could be trying to turn on Kolaghan's Command. Or they could just be pushing for damage. But I have enough life that I can take an extra 2 damage to make sure my Urza doesn't die. So that's what I'm going to do. Kind of hope they don't have Kolaghan's Command, because I want to keep this Oko in my hand. Like, if they could, like, Shatter Shock after combat at the cost of Snapcaster Mage, that would have been such a good play for them. Not falling for it. Alright, it's time to start casting spells off the top of the deck. So I'm going to make a food. I'm going to grow my construct. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can Bauble them and cast spells off the top of my deck. Sounds pretty good. Oh, I fucked that up. Never mind. No, I didn't. Alright, I'm going to Mystic Sanctuary, get back Cryptic. And I'm just not going to cast spells off the top of my deck. So they're drawing a swamp. That's not particularly useful here. I'm not going to attack because I'm going to hold up Cryptic, so their plan to Kolaghan's Command my Urza will not do what they want it to. They could Thought Scour me to get my Cryptic back out of here. Alright, they just Don't have that. Alright, Cryptic's in hand. The loop is established. It's time to start casting Street Wraiths. I don't have my Watery Grave in play, so we're safe from that, whatever safe means to you. Alright, so I'm going to cast this. It's a little awkward. Counter target spell and bounce, or I could counter draw. I think that's probably better. Because like counter bounce, like a cryptic loop isn't really what a winning game state looks like against Death Shadow. Like I board Cryptic Command out in this matchup. So I guess, I don't know, we'll see how this plays. Maybe I should have gone for it since it's there, even though it's not that great in the matchup. I get it while it's good, but if I start just casting spells with Urza, we should pull ahead pretty quickly. Alright, are they still going to make that attack now that I have 2 blockers? Alright, attacking with 1 creature is basically always a bluff. Though, if they have Kolaghan's Command, now they can deal 2 to this, get this back, but they can always kill. Okay, they had Fatal Push. That's a good one. They were just trying to get Revolt last turn. That's fine. I still have a large creature in play and Oko. Alright, Urza is dead. That's 1 down. 3 left. We're going to draw 1 right off the top, because that's how this goes. Oh, bummer. I lied to you. We did draw another Cryptic Command, though, if that's something we want. So I can turn my food into an elk. Then I'll have 2 3/3s. That sounds pretty good. Your entire job in the Death Shadow matchup is don't die. Like, as long as you just don't die, you'll win. Thoughtseize me. Yeah. Who's the discard deck now? Alright, so I'm going to fetch for Mystic Sanctuary, get my Cryptic back, and then we're ahead on board with Oko active, and that should carry us over the finish line. Alright, yeah, they packed it up to that. Sweet. Alright, we took a game 1 against Shadow. I like it. So against Shadow, Chalice, Witching Well, and the counter spells. Those counter spells aren't great. They're a little too reactive. Like, against the deck full of discard spells, you can't really rely on them to do anything. I'm just going to try to beat them on board. Just take out those 2 clunkers and 4 counter spells for 6 spot removal spells. Like, I'm not going to bring in Thoughtseize against the deck that is frequently Hellbent. Like, that's not where I want to be. So just answer the things they play. Engineered Explosives won us that game 1. Just Engineered Explosives on 1 buys you so much time. And you can play it basically any time. They'll eventually have to put a 1-drop into it. Alright, so our hand is good. We have lands, payoffs. It's a little top heavy, but that's okay. Like, this hand is not going to fold to a single discard effect. Really, the worst thing they could discard from us is Astrolabe. Because that would mess up our velocity a little bit, but then it'll leave the hand full of haymakers. Alright, Serum Visions does not disrupt my hand. Have I told you all recently how much I love casting turn 1 Arkham's Astrolabe? Alright, so they top bottomed and wraithed, so they don't know the top of their deck anymore, but they do have a card they want in their hand. Oh, the Goose. I would have preferred to lead on Goose, but that's fine. Anything that helps us power out these payoffs in the hand are good. Oh, they milled a Death Shadow. 1 down, 3 to go. This might be a Garmag Angler just right away. Yep. Looks like it's go time. Looks like they're trying to click away Delves. Yep. Alright, turn 2 Angler is pretty solid. Let's see what we can do about that. Goose, get loose. I'm also going to play this Engineered Explosives on 1, even though it kills my whole board and nothing they control. But someday they might have something better. It's also a fine thing to turn into an elk. Alright, Thoughtseize. Alright. Which of these banana slammers do you hate the most? Urza is the right choice. Oh, they saved a double Thoughtseize. That's smart. Alright, so Karn, carry me home, buddy. So I'm not going to block, because I need this mana. Oh, even better. Alright. Karn is cancelled. I'm going to do this now so I can't get stubborn denialed. So now they're going to need another angler to pressure me because I have shadows covered. I have protection from Inquisition of Kozilek at the moment. That card should not be in their deck anyway after board. Snap Thoughtseize, that's pretty good. Alright, so they managed to Thoughtseize their way all 3 of my gigantic threats. Good stuff. But, like they say, you can't Thoughtseize the top of the deck, so let's just draw some busted crap now. Opal's not really busted crap, but I am going to play it. So with 4 mana, I can gain 3 life a turn now with Goose. Just make a food, then eat it. Saving my Sanctuary, I don't have 3 islands. I would have played the Sanctuary if I didn't draw Opal, because having the 4th mana in play and it coming into play tapped is no good if I just rip Urza. Alright, so I don't need to start eating foods yet. Hello, Emery, you beautiful beast. Alright, so Emery hit a bauble. If we get another turn with Emery, that'll start pulling us ahead. We'll have perfect information and be drawing 2 cards a turn. Seems unlikely that we'll get another turn with Emery, though, because what's in their hand that they're not casting? It's either counter spells or removal spells. Or Death Shadows, I guess. Definitely not blocking. If they have Fatal Push or Thoughts or Snapcaster, then they need a way to get Revolt before they can kill Emery. The old 1-drop that costs 3. Alright, here comes some mana. Gurmag. Okay. Gurmag is a good one. Gurmag's good enough that I'll gain 3 life now. Just to give myself a little buffer zone. Bauble. Astrolabe. Karn, hello. 1, 2, 3. I don't have 4 mana. So I'm just going to play Sanctuary, try to maximize my mana for next turn. I'm going to bauble them in their upkeep. Alright, they're drawing a shadow. I'm taking 7. They don't have red mana, so they can't Battle Rage me. Maybe their hand's just full of red cards. That would be pretty great. Nope. Swing and a miss. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They didn't even play the shadow. They must have Stubborn Denial. So that means I want to eat the food now. So I go to 8 and they're attacking for 7. Because they're likely to stub. Alright, we have a bauble card coming plus our draw step. Okay, this is... Alright, what does this do? So I slam Karn. Alright, so I slam Karn. It gets Stubborn Denialed. Or it doesn't. That was weird. So... I'm going to fetch Mystic Sanctuary, put Assassin's Trophy back on top. Yes, I would like to use this ability. Float blue, cast Opal. Keep this one. Blue, blue. Yes, get Ensnaring Bridge. Alright, I'm surprised all of that worked, but okay. So my top card is Trophy. There's not a whole lot of danger in drawing extra cards with Bauble because all their threats are so big. Like Snapcaster might be able to turn sideways. Oh, there's the K command. Let's hope they don't have a red source. Yeah, we know 2 of their 4 cards. Alright. Somehow this is all just working. Alright, so if I get Lattice, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I can just cast it. Alright, I mean, I'm not here to not cast Lattice. My spells resolved last turn when they didn't have to. Or I guess it could have been... No, they could have Disdainful Stroke the Karn. Okay, so now they're dead. Perfect. Alright, they can't attack or cast spells anymore. Not sure why we're still playing. I guess they can hope that I mess up with my baubles and give them a Snapcaster attack. But they are definitely just dead. So I can crack one of these safely. I'm not going to crack two, though. Alright. And then they scooped it up. Alright, no red mana, no problem. Okay, so we won the die roll. We're going first. I think this hand is a keep. And we have 2 geese, 2 draw steps to find a land. I'm going to hit them in their upkeep in case they're a discard deck. Alright, so another Street Wraith deck. Alright, so they bobbled themselves. Turn 2 Oko would be pretty nice here. Though, any discard spell or counter spell would break that up. Let's hope they just like Serum Visions or play a tapped land. Come on, Serum Visions. Oh. Alright. Alright, 2 looks at a land. Let's go. Alright, got there. Got there twice. Alright. I'm going to play fearlessly into Stubborn Denial. Because this is so good if it works. Nice. Yeah, you can't live your life in fear. Oh, they're the Jund version. Okay. Even better. Whoopsie doozies. That's a 3/4. I'll take it. Alright, so now Oko can get like K commanded or bolted, but it just stole their Tarmogoyf, so deal. Yeah, there's a secret mode on Oko. You can -5 to trade things. Alright, so they're shocking and making me discard. Pretty sure I don't need Cryptic Command. Hello. Have you ever just done everything you wanted to? And nothing you didn't all the time? Yeah, what format are we playing? Is this Vintage? Splat. Alright, easy smush there. Alright, so my sideboard plan is going to be the same as it was last time. Get rid of the counter spells and the clunkers. And just bring in a bunch of removal spells. Against this version, we don't even have to worry about Stubborn Denial. That's good stuff. Bummer. Actual no-lander is not a keep. I will keep most hands against these sort of decks, though, because they're just going to discard me anyway. Once upon a time. Alright, so they're taking many, many game actions. Oh, they have a collector oof. Alright, definitely playing Gilded Goose here. I'm all set up to answer oof. Fatal Push, fine. Like, the messed up thing about the Simic Urza deck is that Collector Oof barely does anything. Like, it's a good card. You should bring it in if you have it, but, like, by and large, DGAF. Come on, Mox Opal off the top. Bummer. I briefly considered getting Emery into play and ignoring the oof. Traverse just for a different card. That is a line that exists. Alright, now they're going to get a Shadow and play a 3/3. Yep. Alright, how about Engineered Explosives or some removal spell? Alright, Emery's coming down first. Assassin's Trophy. I want to know what they're doing. Alright, Street Wraith. Sure. Oh, there's the Opal. Let's hope we survive this turn or don't get Thought Seized. Alright, I'm not going to block. If they have, like, Dismember, Battle Rage, or whatever to kill me, I'm not going to play around that. I can gain 3 if I need to. Okay, command 2 damage on discard mode. So I'll discard this land. Is land better than Opal? Yeah, land's better than Opal. Yeah, I'm going to discard Opal. Another Shadow. Rough. Alright, so I'm going to fetch Island. And I think I want to gain some life. Does that matter? It might. Yeah, so I'll gain life. Alright, the old double Urza. Could be worse. Dead to basically any removal spell, but we get to see another turn if they don't have one. Battle Rage, alright, yeah. We were always dead to Battle Rage. No way around that one. Alright, we got pooped on. That'll happen. My sideboard plan's not going to change. Though the Cryptic Loop is a lot better against this build than it is against Grixis. Though I still don't think it's what I want to be doing. Like, you could argue to shave a Mox Opal to maximize cards that hit. Like, drawing 2 Opals usually isn't that great. Or drawing a mid-game Opal is bad. Drawing 2 Opals in your opener, where you can just, like, blitz out ahead, is pretty good. This hand, I'm not going to keep. It's really close, but I'm just not going to do it. Alright, this one I will keep, even though it's not exciting. I'm going to bottom the forest. Maybe I should bottom Opal, actually. So, Forest lets me fetch Watery Grave, and I have all my splash colors on. Maybe that's an argument to bottom Island. Yeah, I am going to bottom the Opal. I've seen the oof. And I'm pretty far away from ramping with the Opal. Like, I'd have to draw, like, Astrolabe into something else to turn on Opal in time for it to cast any spells. Alright, there. Race to the bottom. Oh god. Street Wraith Storm is 3. That's so sick. Yeah, they certainly see a lot of cards. Alright, turn 1 Shadow. You got it. Alright, let's draw one of our removal spells we boarded in. Yuck. Alright, so if we kept Opal, Emery would have been castable that turn, so that's worth noting for the future. I wonder if they can kill us. Like, is the deck capable of dealing 19 on turn 2? I would be pretty impressed. Not even mad. Alright, 3/4 Goyf. Alright, so Oko's gonna resolve. I'm gonna turn Death Shadow into an Elk. We could definitely still die in a million horrible ways here. I'm not gonna bauble them at all, because that grows Tarmogoyf. And my hand already has cards I want to cast in it. Thoughtseize, bummer. Alright, so Urza's getting out of here. Yeah, their draw was very, very good. If that Death Shadow arrives even like on turn 2 instead of turn 1, we're just miles ahead with the Yoko, but that's not the case, unfortunately. They would really like one more card type in the graveyard so they can kill Oko and deal 3 to me. Is that the first sorcery? I think they might have got there. Oh no, there was... Oh, Thoughtseize, of course. Alright, so they probably kill Oko here. Yep. Alright, so I'm pretty much on Engineered Explosives or Bust. So they're drawing Inquisition. I drew Fatal Push. 6, 7, 8, 9. Not dead yet. Mostly dead, though. Alright, so they have if they have Battle Rage, I'm dead. I hit an Engineered Explosives, so... But they're putting me to 3. So I would need another blocker or removal spell and play Engineered Explosives, and I need to survive the turn. That all seems pretty unlikely. Definitely wish they didn't draw 4 Street Wraiths and had a reasonable draw. One more turn of Breathing Room is all I need here. Oh, Kolaghan's Command. They're just going right for it. That's a much better play. Yeah, so now I think I'm on a no-outer. Like, Urza would buy me another turn. That definitely doesn't do it. Alright, GG's opponent. Yeah, Death Shadow is tough. Alright, so we're on the play. We have Goose Rebuke. This hand needs a payoff, but I generally trust the deck to deliver payoffs because we play so many of them. Like we have 4 Oko, 4 Urza, 3 Karn. Alright, playing against Tron. Rebuke is the best card in our deck. If we draw Oko and just turn 2, turn the map into an elk. Alright. Was not meant to be. Rebuke is very good if it gets us anywhere. Alright, it's good that they missed a Tron land too. So this might be E-Tron. I can't imagine regular Tron would keep this hand. I'm definitely making a food here. That turns on Opal, ramps the future Urza payoff turns. Alright, Witching Well is a sweet one. I'm gonna fetch first. Wait, one, two. Yeah, I can actually pop Witching Well this turn if they don't do anything about it. Bottom. I don't think I want Emery at this point either. I need a bigger payoff than that. Alright, so if they do something I need to rebuke, I'll rebuke it. If they don't, I'll just draw 2 cards. Alright, so they are Eldrazi Tron. I'll rebuke that. I can rebuke it and still make food. Yuck. Alright, so play this, get back rebuke. Yes, do it. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, so I have rebuke back plus Oko. Alright, so I can rebuke whatever they do this turn and then get Oko down next turn, and then we can start actually doing stuff. Alright, they played around rebuke by casting a card I don't care about. Ballista for 1. Do I care about that? I might, because it can get bigger. Alright, you got me. I don't want anything tricksy to occur to get through my Oko here. Or my Karn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana. So I can just jam Karn and get Ensnaring Bridge right away. And then they're dead next turn to Lattice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, that sounds right to me. I'm going to get a basic land because I don't care about rebuke anymore. Snaring Bridge. Oh no, I misclicked. Wow, whoops. That sucks. Just got so excited that we can't lose, and now we're going to lose our Karn. Alright, so note to self. The top thing on Goose is the make a food. Now we're going to get Thought Not Seared, lose our bridge. Jesus Christ. Alright. I guess I deserve that. It's nice that we have a another card in hand that's almost as good as Bridge, though. And Karn can wish for that. If we draw another Karn... Alright, explosives. What does that do? Right, so I'm definitely casting Oko. Alright, explosives on 0 can answer... future chalices. Well, that was so bad. Instead of easily winning, we're going to easily lose. Whoops. Scavenger grounds. Mostly don't care about that. Reality Smasher's rough. So I'm going to lose Oko here. Probably. Everything is attacking Oko. Alright, so I'm not going to block anything. Alright, we need Karn or Urza to get out of this. Haha. It's like they didn't even attack. Alright, so now I have a juicy double block. I'll block the Thought-Knot Seer so I can draw a card. Alright, now they're all going face. Definitely blocking Thought-Knot. Going face seems like a huge mistake. I have so much food. I guess they figure they have to win this game somehow. Ugin. Okay, that kills Oko. Also kills my food. 5, 6, 7, 8. Alright, so I want to gain some life right now. I'm going to attack Ugin. Play this land and 5, 10, 13. Yeah, if they have another Smasher, I just lose, so it doesn't matter. Blue, black, green. I'll play explosives for 3. I can at least kill Matter Reshaper if I need to. Yeah, so if they do have another Smasher, I can blow up Reshaper and gain 3 and still be alive. I should probably just do this. Save some damage. Power plant. Alright, they had one of those already. Alright, so I'm not going to eat this food because having Opal on might matter. Come on, Karn. Emery? Alright. Emery's pretty decent. They can Blast Zone her out of here if they want to. Are they Scavenger groundsing or are they upping Blast Zone? Scavenging the grounds. Okay. Grounds are scavenged. Warping Whale, bummer. Okay, so they're hellbent. Oh, did they draw a Smasher? Great. So 7. They're in for 10, and I can absorb 6 of it. Good thing I'm at exactly 4. Oh, that punt was brutal. Or the misclick. It's not fair to call it a punt. Exactly dead. Whack. Alright, so against Eldrazi Tron, the explosives were coming out. And one of the opals. And we'll bring in these minorly disruptive spells. Shit. Oh, don't misclick again. Did I just submit a 64 card deck? I apologize to all my viewers for watching me be such an idiot during this. My 64 card deck. Ugh. Alright, keep this. Bottom, top. Yeah, this match has been a comedy of errors. Our hand's good, though. Let's hope the old 64 card deck doesn't punish us too bad. Alright, so I'm going to bobble in their upkeep because they have Thought Not Seers. Alright, there's Karn. That's a good one to know about. Thought Not Seer. Surprise, surprise. Alright, Thoughtseize is a good card to have. Alright, they have... Oh god, the Smasher train is coming. Don't even care about Karn. I have to just survive against these Reality Smashers. Alright, so I think targeting myself with Bobble to smooth out my draw steps is going to be a better use than trying to figure out what they're up to. Yep, there's Smasher. I guess I should have bobbled on my turn in case I drew Assassin's Trophy. Mox Opal top card. Not helpful. Oh, punished. That was one of the 4 cards that shouldn't be in the deck. God. So if I turn this into an elk, block Thought Not Seer. But if they play Ugin, just minus, I'm dead anyway. Yep. That was a complete disaster. So many stupid things happened in that match. Unbelievable. Yeah, that's one that was just a straight up misclick. In real life, we would have won game 1 easily. All right, we're on the play. This hand is fine. It's not super exciting, but it's fine. I'm going to play explosives on 1 and go for the turn 2 Emery. a basic swamp. Alright, so this could be some sort of shadow deck. Could be Jund. Really hope it's Jund. That matchup is great. Alright, we found a Bauble. Bauble and Emery are best friends, of course. And some kind of Jund. Maybe just actual. Alright, so now I'm Hellbent, but that mostly doesn't matter because I have Emery plus Bauble. I'm going to Astrolabe first because that costs mana, and on this turn I'm not really doing anything else with that mana. I can Bauble for free in the future. I'm not going to re-Emery. I also should have played Breeding Pool. After that last match, I might be a little shook. Yeah, so next turn, I'm going to play Breeding Pool untapped, fetch Mystic Sanctuary, put Cryptic Command on top, cast Urza, cast Bauble, Bauble my opponent, draw Cryptic Command. That's my plan anyway. This mana does not cast Liliana of the Veil. It does cast Wrenn and 6. What an adorable value engine. I would like to take 2. I'll get Mystic Sanctuary, put Cryptic Command on top of my deck. Yes, please. Cast Bauble. Urza. Make blue. Make green. Goose. Alright, so I'm not actually going to Bauble them to draw the Cryptic because I can't cast it. I'll just wait a turn. Though it would be insane if they can get out of this. Like, I don't even know what card exists. Yeah, it doesn't. Scooped it up. Yeah, the payoff heavy versions with Karn over like Thopter Foundry are just bananas against Jund. Alright, so against Jund, I don't love Engineered Explosives. I don't love a whole bunch of Mox Opals. I do like all the stuff we bring in against the Shadow decks, except Jund is even slower to punish us. So, like, Rebuke. What I take out is a little different. Like, the Cryptic Loop is pretty good against them, so I like that better against the slower deck. And clogging up your hand with extra opals is just no good in the deck where both players get Hellbent. And on the draw, this hand's fine. I keep any remotely functional 7 because they're just going to discard all their cards anyway. They're going to 6. That's good news. Wow, just go, huh? Alright, I'll start with Astrolabe and then decide what I want to do with Bauble. I'm going to leave Bauble in play. I want the full Emery discount. Plus I want to be able to reload my hand at some point if they discard me. If they play something like Collect a Roof on turn 2, I'll obviously bobble in response. Drawn on the Lock is a really good card, by the way. It's the first time we've drawn it in this league, but checks a lot of boxes. Alright, so there's the Oof, as we predicted. We're drawing Raging Ravine. Alright, so they do need another card in their graveyard before I can drown this thing, but I also don't care just yet. Still jamming my Emery. That's what she's for, jamming. Alright, so they played the Blackleaf Cliffs instead of Raging Ravine. That might mean they have Liliana, or it might just mean they want to play this while it can be untapped, because this is always tapped. K command and discard mode, I guess, is what they've chosen. Alright. Deal. That's gone. Yeah, Oko is going to arrive and just shithouse this deck. I'm going to Elk my Astrolabe and just use it to block. I could Elk the Oof, but I mostly don't care. Like, if we get to my next turn and I still have Oko, then I have Drown in the Lock active. I can play Opal. I can make food. Alright. And that's fine. I got the backup. And they can't attack. So now I can play Sanctuary, Regrow Cryptic Command. Yes, I want to do it. Green, blue, blue. Now I'm going to Elk the Oof because I want to be able to use my artifacts. I'm actually going to play out the Opal, because if they draw a discard spell, I want it to be dead. I'm going to bobble them in their upkeep. Stomping Ground, okay. I'm sure that's not what they wanted. Like, Bloodbraid Elf is like the meanest thing they could do right now. God, if they fire up this Ravine, I'm going to Stone Rain them so fast. Gross. Yeah, that should end the game. Now they have only lands, and I have my Cryptic Loop. Destroy this creature. Its converted mana cost is 0. Drown and Lock can always kill creature lands. And we got the scoop. That's not surprising. This matchup is so good. Alright, so we salvaged the shameful 2-3. A pretty horrendous misclick, but hopefully we saw what the deck is capable of. We had a few like vintage draws where we just had like turn 4 like Urza into Karn. Like that sort of stuff is messed up. Played against 2 bad matchups and one pilot error, but otherwise it was a good showcase of what the deck can do. I'm not sure if the basic forest is actually worth the slot. You basically only want it against like burn or humans, and only if you're going to cast turn one Goose. Like that's the only situation where you want Forest, and it does slow down your Mystic Sanctuaries when you accidentally or like draw it organically instead of fetching for it. So that slot might be something else. Some other people have been messing around with the sideboard. Uh, Veil of Summer is a good card against Shadow. We beat Shadow once. We lost to Shadow once and beat it once, but that matchup is tough. Veil of Summer is good in that matchup. Some people have put Walking Ballista in the sideboard as a threat you can wish for with Karn, which I think is kind of cool. I'm not really sure where that would come up, really, that you'd want that, but it's a thing you can do. So those are some thoughts on the deck moving forward. Thanks for checking it out. Thanks for bearing with me through those misclicks. And thanks for watching. See you next time.